Altavista still in a huddle on their sideline. Randolph Henry's on the court ready to play basketball. The Statesmen are in their road blue jerseys, white trim. Got some blue on the sides with a little checkerboard Argyle sort of pattern. And Altavista's in their home whites, Bob, with the orange and black trim.
Bobby Walker, Greg Howard, and I am fairly certain that's Jason Morgan. There's been some debate about that, but I'm pretty sure that it's him. Good crew.
Great crew, yes. Absolutely. And a good Friday night for basketball. Cold, windy, and miserable outside. I hope you're curled up in front of the fireplace listening to us tonight.
We talk about multi-sport athletes, also multi-sport officials. Lights are out again. Coming back.
Now they're coming back on. This happened the other night.
Yeah, and everybody's got to be aware that this happens a little bit. You know, the electric bill's in good standing. I do have that on good authority from my higher-ups in Campbell County. But, we talk about the players being multi-sport. These three guys also, I know they all umpire baseball.
Yes, they do.
I'm pretty sure two of them umpire in the fall, too.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. I know Greg Howard at one point was in charge of the volleyball officials. And I think he's done a little football in his day, too. Altavista wins the tip. Richard Hubbard has it. Now he gets it over to Michi Malbeck.
Zone for the Statesmen.
I was just going to say that very same thing, Bob. Randolph Henry looks like they're in the 2-3. They get it inside to Darius Johnson. Johnson puts it up. Won't go, but the tip in by Juan Thornhill was timely. He really got off the floor with perfect timing, Bob, because the ball didn't really come off the rim very long before Juan had tipped it right back in there. 2-0 Altavista to start this contest. 7:25 remains in the first quarter.
We talk about chemistry all the time, but I don't know if that's a chemistry issue there by Thornhill as much as good timing.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Randolph Henry driving. Number 24 is Brandon Pugh. He gets his layup to go in. 2 points for Pugh, 2 points for the Statesmen, and we're tied at 2. Malbeck hands it off to Richard Hubbard. Hubbard looking inside, looking outside. He'll give it to Demetrius Johnson on the perimeter. Both Johnson brothers in the starting lineup in this one tonight. Darius is post up on the foul line. They go to Demetrius down low. He gets it to go in. Took some body contact as well. 2 more points for Altavista. Great feed from Juan Thornhill. Looked like Juan might actually go to brother Darius, but instead he passed it all the way down to the baseline to Demetrius, and Demetrius finished up the layup.
Colonels really have Randolph Henry pushed back, and it was Eubanks there with the elbow into Malbeck.
Pugh for 3, no good. Offensive rebound to the Statesmen, but Joseph Reed lost it, and Demetrius Johnson picks it up on the steal. Richard Hubbard for 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound comes down to the Statesmen. That's Devontae Dixon. Dixon gets it to Eubanks. You heard Coach Carlero talk about Eubanks in the pregame. Driving layup from the aforementioned number 10, Dante Eubanks. Goes in, and we're tied again. 4-4 this time. 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. First quarter, Bob, brought to you by Apple Markets. 3 great locations: Main Street, Gateway, and Riverside.
Looks like the only double as I was scanning your roster there, Kyle, is Pugh for Randolph Henry as Hubbard misses a 3.
Hubbard's 3, no good. And here comes Eubanks on the fast break. Passes it off on the bounce pass to Joseph Reed, and Reed gets it to go in for 2. First lead of the night for Randolph Henry. Yeah, 2 Pugh brothers, well, maybe not brothers necessarily in the starting lineup. Juan Thornhill gets an easy layup for Altavista while we're talking. Brandon Pugh and Devin Pugh.
6-6, our score, Kyle Haney, with 5:20 to go in quarter 1 as Randolph Henry controls the dribble with Pugh. D. Pugh,
that's right. Block right there by Darius Johnson. Ball went off the backboard and went to Joseph Reed, and Reed scooped it up and made about a 7-footer there. Darius with a great block, but he couldn't do much about the ball finding the hands of Reed.
Reed's got the last 4, Kyle.
Hubbard fakes a pass inside. Now he'll use a right-hand dribble, gets it to the middle of the court, passes to Malbeck. Malbeck replaces him and goes to the middle of the court. And now Malbeck will kick it back to the middle of the court to Darius Johnson. Get it to Juan Thornhill just in front of the foul line. Jumper's no good. Rebound to Randolph Henry. That was Brandon Pugh on that rebound. Here comes Eubanks, the point guard. 16-foot jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Juan Thornhill. Thornhill's going to go up the left sideline. Now he gets it back to the middle of the court. Stops at the foul line, then he got bumped into by his own guy, but he maintained possession.
Well, Thornhill saw green, but the lanes closed very quickly as Juan was not going to get an uncontested layup.
Randolph Henry's got a quick, athletic team. And you're right, they did close down very quickly on Juan Thornhill. Darius Johnson tried to drive to the basket after getting a pass at the foul line, and he's bodied into, and they'll call that a foul. First foul of the evening.
Darius might have been bailed out there, fouling Brandon Pugh, because it looked like Darius was going to make a move to the goal before putting it on the floor, which would be a no-no traveling violation, but Darius instead got fouled.
Darius will check out. So will Michi Malbeck. Eric Poindexter checks in. And so does Josh Walker. Walker didn't play against Chatham, but now he's back. Three-pointer by Thornhill. Won't go in. Walker almost had a rebound, but he couldn't get it away from Devontae Dixon.
And again, you hate to have this one sit in your crawl because most teams don't practice on Christmas Eve or Christmas that I know of. And Sunday practices are illegal, and you might get the day off tomorrow.
Yep.
Too hot to handle.
Thornhill tried to get it down low to Demetrius Johnson. No good. It was too hot to handle. But, yeah, you're right. You may go tomorrow.
May have to go tomorrow, really. I mean, it might just be your hand is forced.
Right. But you're not going to practice Sunday. Like you said, probably not going to practice Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Right.
Three-pointer on the way, no. Dixon will drive to the basket, won't go in. Rebound by Juan Thornhill. Again, Juan continues to be a force on the glass. Tries to drive to the basket, cut off. He's going to get fouled in the act of shooting. So he'll go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. First time we've seen anybody from the stripe tonight, I believe, Bob. And McClure will check in at the scorer's table as soon as they let him in after this first free throw.
But, back to that. I mean, you're looking at you're cold on Monday and Tuesday. Then Wednesday you get to come in. Then Thursday you're back at it.
Yeah. Yeah, they play Thursday. That's the Christmas tournament that we talked about. Second free throw good by Juan Thornhill. Made them both. 3:28 remaining in the first quarter. 8-8 is our score. First quarter brought to you again by Apple Markets of Altavista.
And I haven't checked, there are Christmas holiday tournaments all around. Some are 2 days, some are 3 days. The 3-day ones might be Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Foul here is going to go against Josh Walker, I believe. He fouled Devontae Dixon.
I mean, I think that'd be pretty cruel to throw somebody out there Wednesday.
Yeah, that'd be tough. And maybe it's a situation where you say, hey, the gym will be open on Christmas Eve and Christmas, but it's not a mandatory practice.
I don't think the gym will be open Christmas.
If you want to come in and shoot around, the Y might be open.
Might have to have the card, though, to get in, because I don't know if there'll be anybody at the desk.
Devontae Dixon made the first one, made the second one. That makes it 10-8. 3:13 to go in the first quarter. Altavista trailing by 2.
Well, the other school of thought is get away from basketball for a bit. Enjoy your family, enjoy your off time, clear the head.
Yeah. Hubbard thought about a 3. Walker thought the same thing. Now he'll pass it back to Hubbard. Hubbard directing some traffic. They get it to Thornhill. Thornhill trying to give some direction as well.
I mean, if Richard Hubbard doesn't shoot a basketball in 3 or 4 days, does that make him a lousy shooter? I mean, I think he can pick it back up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do know what you're saying. Thornhill has it back. He'll bounce pass it to Richard Hubbard. McClure fakes a 3. Now he gets it to Hubbard. Now back to Thornhill. A lot of ball movement here for the Colonels.
For people that would like the inside of our lives, this is what we do when we're not on the air, too. I mean, just banter these subjects about. Maybe not to practice high school basketball teams. But
some are better than others, some of the subjects that we talk about. Thornhill using the dribble, goes to the right wing. Now he gets it back to the middle of the court. Altavista hadn't put a shot up since this whole time we've been talking.
If you're Altavista right now and you see this 2-3, how are you attacking?
Well, I think they've seen the 2-3 zone a bunch this year, Bob, so you've got to believe that they're a little more, they can... Wow, ball goes out of bounds. I thought it got tipped off a Randolph Henry player, but they say it went off Altavista, so it'll be a turnover.
Kevin Bowman likes the effort, and rightfully so. I mean, the 2-3 zone against a team like Altavista, it's very hard to stay disciplined in the zone because you see Altavista holding it. Hey, let me inch up just a few feet forward to get that count going.
Yep, and they can shoot the 3 ball so well, too. Poindexter almost got a steal. It may just end up being an out of bounds. It is. Poindexter got on the ground and couldn't get the steal, but he forced the bad pass. So essentially it's the same result. Altavista is going to get the basketball. Under their own scoring, they're going to say it's on the sideline over here. Malbeck will inbound.
Walker Hubbard check out. So you've got Thornhill, Malbeck, Darius Johnson, Jacob McClure, and Eric Poindexter on the floor. You can tell I'm ready for my big debut next week.
I know you are. McClure down there in the corner gets it to Poindexter. Poindexter now to Thornhill. Back to Eric Poindexter. Fakes the drive. Pulls it back out.
Great zone. I mean, I got to give Randolph Henry credit right now in the defense.
I think you're absolutely right. Eric Poindexter up for 2. He gets fouled in the process. Shot went off back iron, no good. So Eric will head to the free throw line. No, you're right. Randolph Henry's 2-3 zone is maybe a little bit stingier than some of the other teams' zones that Altavista's played so far this year. Poindexter, first one up, first one in. Makes it a 10-9 ball game. We're down to 1 minute and 21 seconds left in the first quarter. First quarter seemed to fly by a little bit there, Bob.
And, I mean, Dogwood and James River, while they're both athletic districts, they also have 2 different types of teams in them, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, Buckingham's got some of those bigger guys that maybe aren't as, flying like Dan Rivers, per se.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point. Different styles of play sometimes when you go to different districts. Altavista putting a lot of pressure on Randolph Henry here. Tie ball game 10-10. Eric hit them both. Eubanks has it for the Statesman. Left-hand dribble. Now he'll pass it up and get it to number 22. That's Terrence Royster. He's checked in off the bench. Back to Eubank. Now to Devin Pugh. Randolph Henry not really making a move at the basket. They're dribbling around the perimeter. Maybe they're trying to run down some clock here. Tied up 10-10. We're under 50 seconds to play. A drive to the basket by Royster. It looked like Royster maybe took an extra step in there, but they'll say he gets fouled in the process of shooting. He'll head to the free throw line and shoot 2, Bob.
Royster was, I thought, maybe about as out of control as somebody could be of making it still look like he's in control, because Royster never really lost his composure or never really, just got spastic out there with body parts flying all over the place. Knocks down both from the stripe, and Randolph Henry's going to check in. It looks like 3 new guys.
Looks like they got 3 fresh faces in. 12-10 Statesman. Yeah, Royster looked like one of those dirt track race car drivers where they slide into the turns, and it doesn't look like they're in control of the car.
You love your
but they really are.
Racing.
You can't go wrong with some good dirt track racing. Some, what do they call those, midget cars or something? I don't know. 3-pointer on the way from McClure. Count
That's
it.
called a 3-pointer. I know that terminology for that one.
Everybody knows that. That was the old Mark Slusher 3-ball in the corner pocket right there from Jacob McClure. Altavista's got a lead, 13-12. Great shot by McClure from that far corner of the basketball court there. Eubank driving. Now he'll pass it up. Gets it to Malik Westry. Westry thought about a 3, and he's going to travel while he's thinking about it. Go ahead, Bob.
Say 50 years of broadcasting on WKD, and even the broadcasters have left their mark.
Yes, they have. Well, we got to give a lot of props to Doc Slusher, one of our favorites to work with. We need to get him on at some point this year to this season to celebrate the 50-year anniversary. We had Chester Brockwell on during football season. Meiji Malbach's got the basketball right now. We're under 10 seconds. 3-pointer away from Hubbard is good. Richard Hubbard knocks it down with about 6 seconds left. Down to 3, down to 2. Eubanks will fire a long one. It hit the iron, but it wouldn't go in. Great effort by him, but a great way for the Colonels to end the first quarter of basketball. Hubbard, a long 3 with about 6 seconds left, gives Altavista 16-12 lead. Second quarter on the way on 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista, outdoor pool, and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Piece of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
16-12, Colonels lead heading into the second quarter. Bob Alvis, Colonels hit 2 3-pointers there in the last 40 seconds or so, and that's the difference so far.
Yeah, and so far, we look at the schedule, and I know it's only 3 games, but Colonels have led after 1 in every game so far.
That's pretty impressive, and probably gives you a good chance to win a ball game that way. 3-pointer by the Statesman, no good. It was Devin Pugh that put it up. Nice rebound by the Colonels. Here comes Thornhill. Now he'll cycle it along the Mall back in the corner. Back to Juan Thornhill. Randolph Henry's still in that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, 2-3 zone. It's really, I don't want to say it's confusing the Colonels, but I think it's making the Colonels have some other looks or options, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're having to slow down and stay patient. And you see Randolph Henry, they get the arms up. They make it tough to attack it. They get it to the foul line to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson kicks it back out. Now McClure will try a 3-ball again, same spot. This one no good. Rebounded by Juan Thornhill, though. His putback won't go in. They had another chance at it. Demetrius Johnson just kind of slapped it towards the rim, but it wouldn't go in. Randolph Henry has the basketball now. They're going down the other way. Here comes Devontae Dixon. Dixon gives it up to Pugh, and Pugh's in trouble. Double teamed in the corner there. He'll hand it off.
Timeout,
and
Ray.
Kevin Bowman's going to take a timeout. He knew that a turnover was imminent, so he uses the timeout. We'll take it as well. 30-second variety. Altavista leading 16-12 on 105.5 KD Country.
Even though it's been said many times in many ways, the staff, management, and employees of English's Building Supply and Hardware in Altavista take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you a happy holiday. May this Christmas be merrier than any Christmas you've ever known before. It's the same old wish, but always new. A Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. From English's Hardware and Building Supply on Main Street, Altavista, closed the week of December 24th through December 30th.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
16-12, Altavista leading early in this one, Bob.
Yeah, and we talk about Altavista's led after Randolph Henry, big problems. They stepped over the line, actually, which is rare, but I knew they were getting close to 5. It's whether you lead at the end of the game that's the important thing, but, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So while Altavista's led each game after the first quarter, I don't think it's imperative, but I've never heard a marathon runner say, hey, you get a 10-minute head start.
Right.
I mean, it might work if you're going against me,
right?
But against other top opposition, not so much. Jump ball here, Kyle.
Yeah, Colonels really turned it over as we were talking. Demetrius Johnson dove in there to get the loose ball back. Possession error will favor the Colonels. Yeah, you're right. It's not essential that you lead after the first quarter, but it doesn't hurt either. Ball back to inbound.
3 games we're looking at leads of 6, 11, and 1.
Yeah, the 1-point lead was Tuesday at Chatham. I think they scored 16 points in the first quarter of that one as well. I'm telling you, I'm astute. You look up astute in the dictionary, and there I am. 3-pointer no good by Richard Hubbard. Rebounded by Devontae Dixon.
I thought you said you were astute. I was going to agree with that one, too.
Oh, boy, Randolph Henry in a little bit of trouble again. Altavista's defense very good, and they forced another turnover, Bob. Randolph Henry threw it away.
And, more importantly, too, Kyle, in 12 quarters of play so far, 7 quarters, the opposition has only scored single digits. And I've talked about that normally once every year, normally not this early in the year, but I think it's important when you can keep somebody under 10 for a quarter. That's really showing signs of defense. Yeah, that is pretty good, and if you do that on average, you're going to keep a team under 40. And I'd like to believe the Colonels are going to score at least 40 every time out. I guess you can't say always, but more often than not they will. And that translates into wins. Altavista's basketball, right now they've lost it, though. Turned it over. Great deflection by somebody from Randolph Henry to get a fingertip on the pass. And here's a big block by Demetrius Johnson on the other end. Not close enough to get a goaltending call. Altavista goes fast the other way. Yeah, Altavista got going a little too fast off the turnover. Threw it away, so it'll go back to Randolph Henry. A little bit of a turnover fest going on now. And, to give, I was going to give Doc Slusher some credit, but Altavista's going to get a foul. It's on Richard Hubbard. Yeah, Hubbard diving in after the loose ball. Go ahead about Mark Slusher. Well, he always used to make the point of 50 points. Yeah, the 50 point. Big deal. And he made that point for the Colonels. But I think it's going to swing the other way now. It's a big deal to hold the other team to under 50. Right. You do that, you're going to win games. Absolutely. Slusher was a smart man. I can't really say the same for you, but you're smart enough to listen to something he said. Right. Oh, Dixon went up for a layup. He got fouled in the process. Shot wouldn't go in. See who it's on. It's on Darius Johnson, number 10 for Altavista. His first. Fourth on the Colonels. 5:22 remains in this one. 16-12 still. No scoring yet in this second quarter, but there is now. Free throw good by Joseph Reed. Correct me if I'm wrong. These two teams met on the gridiron this year. They did. First game of the year for both teams. Altavista won that one in a blowout. So some familiarity with athletes. Absolutely. I know Reed played out there on the football team.
No, there's a few other guys as well,
Eubanks?
but it's been a while. I'm not sure about Eubanks. If it wasn't the first game of the year, that would have helped. Both free throws good by Reed. So 16-14, Altavista leading by 2 now.
That's one of my friends in Randolph Henry, Joe Freeland. Always fun to talk to Coach Freeland.
Absolutely.
One of the few that wears a shirt and tie still. I think he still does that.
Well, I know he's one of the all-time great football coaches. Demetrius Johnson thought about a 3. Passes it up, gets it inside to his brother Darius. Yeah, Joe Freeland was, I don't know if he was the first post-grad coach at Hargrave, but he coached
Really?
Torrey Holt at Hargrave.
Did not
Yes,
know
he
that.
did. Yep. See, you learned something from me, too, not just Mark Slusher.
You learn more by listening than you do talking. I learned that by listening.
Oh, Altavista still has the basketball, taking their time against this 2-3 zone. Malback has it, right wing. He'll pass it to the middle of the court to Poindexter. Poindexter left wing to Hubbard. Hubbard three-pointers, front iron, no good. Rebounded by the Statesman.
Like what they did there, though. They got everybody to the right side, which kept Hubbard just alone.
Randolph Henry's got some fast break points, though, while we're talking. Devontae Dixon gets 2. Tie ball game, and that doesn't please Coach Mike Cardellaro for Altavista, so he'll take a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with him. 16-16 from Altavista, 4:30 until halftime on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Second quarter sponsored by Apple Markets of Altavista, Bob. Proud supporter of Colonel basketball. Colonels have the basketball. Demetrius Johnson down low. Won't go in. Rebound still loose. Darius Johnson ended up with it sliding across the court. Ball still loose. Now Poindexter finally kicks it over to Malback. That brings a nice applause from the crowd because that ball was loose on the ground for a while. The Colonels have retained possession. Hubbard, left wing, now inside to Darius Johnson. Darius is fouled trying to make the catch. And this will be on the floor. No free throws here, but it'll still be Altavista basketball.
I think it's on Dixon.
Juan Thornhill going to check back in the game now. Hubbard checks out. On the court right now, it's Malback, Thornhill, Poindexter, and 2 Johnsons, Darius and Demetrius.
I'll tell you, it really feels like the team that's controlling this game is Randolph Henry, and it's now on the offensive end. It feels like their defense really has just, I don't want to say sucked the life out of this building, but really has made this game what it is right now.
Yeah, it's pretty stingy. Altavista hadn't got a lot of great looks. They get one here, though. Darius Johnson going up. Shot won't go in. He came down hard on his backside. He was fouled. And he'll head to the free throw line to shoot a pair of them. He hops up now, though. I think he was more upset about missing the shot than any kind of actual injury.
Well, and, I understand why, because in a game like this, got to treasure every little bunny.
That's right. First free throw, no good by Darius Johnson.
Mike Cardellaro brought up to me that last year, during the killer schedule that Altavista had, first game of the year was against Randolph Henry, I believe. One of the first games of the year. And Randolph Henry wins on a buzzer beater.
Yeah, and those kind of things happen from time to time.
I don't think I was there. I would have remembered.
Eric Poindexter's got a steal. Kicks it ahead to Michi Malback. Malback for the layup. Count that one. Great job by Altavista on the turnover in transition. They now lead 19-16.
I think if Michi hadn't gotten that to go, Demetrius was right behind him.
Yep, Demetrius is going to
follow in some way.
Demetrius is going to pick up his second foul, though, now. He was trying to take a charge. First foul. Feet weren't quite set there right at half court while Demetrius was playing defense. Josh Walker going to check in on the next dead ball now.
3:27 before intermission. Colonels lead by 3.
That almost changed. Randolph Henry missed a three-point attempt. Rebound by Demetrius Johnson. Here comes Thornhill going quickly. Hands it off to Eric Poindexter. Now they swing it around. Demetrius Johnson has it. Malback going to try a 3. Count that one. Had a little body English on there. Had to lean to make sure it went in. And now Randolph Henry's going to take another timeout as Altavista extends the lead. 22-16. Under 3 minutes till halftime here on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Hey, Bob, we should have talked about this in the Subway pregame show, but Jarrell Jordan going to be signing his scholarship tomorrow at Subway in Altavista.
I
Go to
heard.
the University of Cincinnati.
Is Tommy going to be here?
I don't know if Tommy's going to make it down for the signing or not, but you can head out to Subway for great food, and a bunch of people will be there, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be a who's who in there for that. And, again, you can't beat the customer service, so you may as well be there.
We'll get back to that at halftime. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I have a few more questions about that.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about hoops now. Altavista leading 22-16. Statesmen have broken the press. Shot up by Joseph Reed goes in. So a nice job by Randolph Henry to score out of their timeout. That makes it 22-18 after the 2 points from Reed. Now Altavista's got the ball again. Walker going to try a three in the corner. No good. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. Now he gets it to Poindexter. Poindexter, foul line jump shot, no good. Kicked around. Let's see who this goes off of. They say it's off the Colonels as it bounces out of bounds.
Randolph Henry a little frantic offensively, though. We talked about how disciplined defensively, but offensively they are throwing it around a little bit. Not like careless necessarily on all plays, but, you know, I don't know how to explain it, Kyle. Maybe it's a little wild.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's definitely their defense that's got them in the position they're in. Offensively, they've been okay, but not great. They get it inbounds and break the press again. That's Reed for a layup. Won't go in, but he's fouled by Jacob McClure.
I mean, right there, for instance. To me,
Yeah.
that was a little hectic getting down there. I mean, granted, they broke the press, but
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But
Yeah, I mean, Altavista's not making it easy on them. I think we've got to say the Colonels' defense has been very good, too. Second foul on McClure. It sends Reed back to the foul line. 2:37 remains here in the second quarter. First one's no good.
And, you know, I think we're guilty, just as guilty of anybody on that, is we don't credit Altavista's defense enough just because we expect it to be good at all times.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times defense isn't flashy. You know, defense isn't what shows up in the box score.
Kind of like good officiating to me with Altavista's defense. If we don't talk about it, you know,
That
we
means
don't
it's
notice
good.
it, but it was there.
Walker going to drive. He's fouled, cut off. Shot never got up to the rim, but he'll get to the foul line.
42 on that one, I believe.
That's Devontae Dixon. There's a Dante, a Devontae, and a Devin. And a Deshaun for Randolph Henry, for that matter.
The D's are wild.
D's are wild tonight. First free throw, no good from Josh Walker.
Walker, I would assume, probably still getting over some of the illness that kept him debilitated on Tuesday.
Yep. Second one goes in. 1 for 2 from Josh Walker. Makes it a 23-19 game.
Kyle and I both fighting.
We're battling. I think Bob got me sick.
Oh, don't say I didn't give you something for Christmas.
Randolph Henry almost lost it. Reed's going to try a long two. Back iron, no good. Going after his own rebound, and he may have committed a foul in the process. I think he did. It's going to be 17 fouls on Randolph Henry, so somebody will shoot a 1-and-1 for Altavista. And it was on Joseph Reed after the missed shot, trying to get his own rebound back, Bob. Malback is the one that will head to the free throw line.
In a case like that, it's kind of hard to tell, maybe on some people's part, but not with this great crew of three, who got fouled. Normally, if I was the best free throw shooter, I would just walk up there as quick as I could.
Right. Free throw no good from Malback. And now Josh Walker is going to get whistled for a foul, trying to get a rebound.
And there are not many other sports where you can do that. In terms of, you know, if you make a boo-boo.
Yeah. Somebody else can
Right.
take the credit for it or vice versa. Second one on Walker. It sends Devontae Dixon to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Both teams have got 17 fouls now. First free throw goes in for Randolph Henry.
Because, I mean, you know, baseball, football, you can't just run up to the plate or run up to the line, per se, with, you know, somebody that wasn't even involved in the play. There's nothing like a foul, I guess, in basketball.
That's what makes it an interesting game. Second one in by Devontae Dixon. Makes it a 2-point ball game again, 23-21.
Tell you got me excited. Double basketball on the radio next week. LCA, both days will be down here.
It is exciting. Bulldogs on the radio will lead off our doubleheader both days, and then the Colonels will come afterwards with some sort of a Subway pregame or postgame show in between, whatever you want to call it. Thornhill fakes a three.
Subway intermission.
The intermission, that's right. Skips it over to McClure, but it got knocked out of bounds. Good defense by Reed. Basketball stays with Altavista.
And even though John Patterson's not the head coach at LCA anymore, I have a feeling his legacy is probably still... He's a superintendent at LCA now. I don't even know if he would hire a coach that didn't believe in defense.
Right. Yeah, that has to be the first thing you say when you walk into the interview, or else he just says next.
Right.
Inside to Demetrius Johnson. Got stolen away. Randolph Henry's defense, again, very good. That was Reed on the takeaway. Now Eubanks has it on the fast break. They slow it down a little bit. Eubanks.
Hubbard almost committed a foul. I think he thought he did.
Missed shot there by Eubanks. Goes to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill gets it ahead to Darius Johnson. Johnson scores, and he's fouled. Great job by Juan Thornhill to get the rebound. Really missiles it ahead to Demetrius Johnson quickly, and then Johnson finishes and gets fouled in the process. Fouls on number 15, Devin Pugh. Great two-man game right there, Bob.
Oh, I mean, it seems like Juan knows each Johnson just as well right there because, he's got good chemistry with Demetrius. He's got good chemistry with Darius.
Absolutely. That's all you can say. Free throw no good by Demetrius, though. So we're stuck at 25-21, Altavista Colonel lead. Statesmen have the basketball. That's Pugh. Pugh gets it to Eubanks. Eubanks hadn't done a lot of scoring, but he is a good point guard for Randolph Henry. Jump shot, no good by Devontae Dixon.
Under a minute.
Thornhill got another rebound. Now he's stopped at the free throw line. McClure, three-pointer. Looked good, but it was just a little bit long, and it bounced off the back of the rim. Rebound comes down to Randolph Henry. And Coach Bowman wants his team to slow it down a little bit. We're down to 40 seconds left in the second quarter.
Tell you, if we got these stats that Greg Pribble does for the Colonels immediately after the game.
Good block by Josh Walker. They call it a jump ball. Dixon had it down low in the low block. Walker with a nice block from behind, and he didn't commit the foul. They call it a mutual possession jump ball.
Thornhill might have been player of the game is what I was going to get at the other night. 9 boards, 5 of 6, 6 steals, 1 turnover, and 13 points.
Yeah, that's very impressive for Juan Thornhill on Tuesday against Chatham.
Oh, I did give him player of the game. What do you know?
Well, he's been good in this one, too. Altavista trying to play some defense here, down to 20 seconds. Eubanks has it for Randolph Henry. Going to slash to the basket, cut off, throws up a layup, won't go in. Thornhill got another rebound, and he gets it ahead to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson slipped going down, trying to get the basketball, so it just goes out of bounds. There's another rebound for Thornhill right when we talk about him.
Talk about LCA, too. It was like Demetrius was at the LaHaye Ice Center right there. I mean, just feet went out from under him. He might be a better skater, actually, than I'm giving him credit for.
He might be. Basketball goes out of bounds. Randolph Henry lost it, but they'll maintain possession. They say it went off a Colonel.
6.6, Kyle Haney.
Plenty of time for Randolph Henry to run a play here. Even.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, get some dribbles in. You don't have to just catch and shoot with 6.6 seconds. Inbound. Gets into Pugh. Pugh lost it momentarily. We're down to 3 seconds. Gets it inside to number 15. That's the other Pugh, and that one won't go in. Another rebound for Juan Thornhill, but the buzzer sounds before he can get up a buzzer beater type of shot, so we'll head to the locker room. 25-21. Colonel's leading in this one. Subway halftime show right after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch and Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show. Subway Eat Fresh, and with two great locations, Main Street in Altavista and the Walmart on the Clarion Road in Altavista. Couldn't get any easier than that, Bob. And don't forget the Western Egg and Cheese is still the December $5 footlong of the month for another week or so here. I'm interested to see what they're going to do in January as far as a $5 footlong
They normally
goes.
have it up there somewhere. Like,
Yeah, you're probably right. They do. I'm just so in
$5.
love with the food that I don't look
You might be able
around.
to find out tonight.
I know, but I'll just end up buying
Not
more
you,
food.
everybody else. Everybody's listening to us. You should go back too, though, if you're going to buy more food.
I should. Altavista got a 4-point lead in this one, 25-21. They've done a great job defensively against Randolph Henry, Bob, although maybe the offense has been lacking a little bit in times. I don't think it's been terrible or anything for the Colonels.
No, I mean, like, it's, I think we hit on that earlier. When you don't notice the Colonels' defense, that's almost when it's at its best.
Right. Subway halftime show, Subway Eat Fresh. Let's get back to the Jarrell Jordan scholarship signing that's going to go on there tomorrow at the Main Street location in Altavista.
Right.
There's plenty of room for you down there, Bob.
You never know. You might see me. I was going to say, though, I know Tommy Tuberville, who was at Texas Tech and went to Cincinnati to become the head coach, which befuddled a lot of people, but that's not here nor there. I know at Texas Tech, Robert Prunty was his D-line coach.
Right.
Did Prunty go along? I mean, is there any connection?
I'm not sure, but I know Robert Prunty, of course, used to be the head coach at Gretna. He used to be the head coach.
He's down there. We could have asked.
Right, used to be the head coach at Hargrave as well. I know that was a big reason why Jarrell was going to go to Texas Tech in the first place, but obviously Jarrell...
probably yes.
I don't know that we can assume that, Bob, when we don't have any information to indicate that. Maybe Jarrell Jordan just likes Tommy Tuberville, too, so when he decided to go to Cincinnati, he decided to go to Cincinnati with Coach Tuberville.
We're going to go find out.
I think that will be better than us just speculating like we are on the air. We do know one thing. Colonels are up 4 in this basketball game.
Stats. I can't go
at halftime. Bob says he can't go. He's got to do the stats. We'll let him do that. And we'll take another timeout and let our sponsors do some talking to you as well. Colonels up 25-21 on the Subway halftime show. More after this timeout on 105.5 KD Country.
Even though it's been said many times in many ways, the staff, management, and employees of English's Building Supply and Hardware in Altavista take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you a happy holiday. May this Christmas be merrier than any Christmas you've ever known before. It's the same old wish, but always new. A Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. From English's Hardware and Building Supply on Main Street, Altavista, closed the week of December 24th through December 30th.
Good news from Altavista area Apple markets. Check out these new in-store specials. 99 cents for any coffee or cappuccino. Trade winds and sweet leaf teas, 2 for $1.50. And a 24-pack of Coke, only $5.99. Or grab the 4-piece chicken tenders, fries, and garlic toast for just $4.99 at Riverside or Main Street Apple Market locations. At Gateway, get half a pizza and a medium drink, only $5.99. Visit the Apple Market convenience stores soon for these great deals.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show. Subway Eat Fresh. Colonels leading 25-21 over the Statesmen from Randolph Henry. Bob, while we're on the subject of Jarrell Jordan, let's talk about Jarrell on the basketball court and on the football field a little bit. On the basketball court, obviously, we think about the points and the rebounds. I mean, he was just a machine on the glass. He could always anticipate where and when the ball was going to come off the rim, and just a great touch around the basket, huh?
My Jarrell Jordan memories are happy ones. Honestly.
I agree.
The basketball floor and the football field. We might have Mr. Jordan come up to join us for a moment or two, by the way, to give you a bit of a break.
On the football field, I think most of his opponents' memories were bad ones because he was in their backfield all night.
Right, yeah.
He started out as a great defensive end, and then they moved him to a linebacker. He's back to playing on the D-line now.
I think you liked Jarrell a lot more if you didn't play against him.
Right.
You know, if he was on the opposite side, you might have been a bigger Jarrell fan if you weren't playing against him.
Yeah, and he had a big hand in that state championship in 2009. And won a lot of games on the football field, a lot of games on the basketball court as well. Colonels on top in this one tonight, 25-21. They still got their work cut out for them. If they want to get the W, though, against a scrappy Randolph Henry squad that, again, I think we've talked about the defense from both teams, Bob, and it's worth repeating. It's been pretty good tonight from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, both sides have done their bit here in the first half. Subway halftime show. Eat healthy, eat fresh, eat all the time at Subway. I'm adding on to the slogan myself.
I like
if
that.
It's good enough for Michael Phelps. It's good enough for me.
That's right. They may get their marketing department to contact you and see if they can borrow that slogan.
I don't even think Robert Duff would do that. Oh, maybe to borrow the slogan. I thought you were going to say to have me as a spokesperson.
Oh, no, not as a spokesperson. No, I think they're getting their money's worth with Michael Phelps. They don't need you. Just about 3 minutes left until some basketball action here on 105.5 KD Country. Of course, let's talk about the future schedule a little bit again. Thursday, December 27th, we're back in Altavista for the annual Christmas tournament. LCA Bulldogs will be on the radio. That game starts at 6. We'll probably come on 5:45, 5:50, something like that. Do a little pregame show and some LCA hoops. And then the Colonels will follow them. And Altavista and LCA aren't playing each other, but they are playing Nottoway and Amelia. Two teams from the James River District, like Randolph Henry here tonight. So Altavista is getting a nice tour of the James River District, Bob. And if Amelia and Nottoway are anything like Randolph Henry, I imagine those will be two pretty tough games.
Scoring, by the way, Kyle Haney.
Yes, sir.
I finally figured out how to add that many numbers at one time. Randolph Henry, Pugh with 2. Eubanks with 2, Reed with 9, Dixon with 6, Royster with 2. Altavista being led by Thornhill, he has 6. McClure and Hubbard each with 3. Demetrius Johnson has 4. Poindexter with 2. Michi Malbeck with 5. And Darius Johnson and Josh Walker each with a free throw apiece.
So certainly balanced for the Colonels. Nobody really scoring a bunch, but a lot of people getting it
Not so
in
much
the basket.
Randolph Henry, though, because in that second quarter, Kyle,
yes,
Reed and Dixon were the only 2 guys that scored.
Yeah, and that's not what you want if you're Coach Bowman and Randolph Henry, but I think he probably doesn't feel too bad about the spot he's in right now, trailing by 4 to the Altavista Colonels. Take one more quick time out here on the Subway halftime show, then come back with some basketball on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
For more than 103 years, we've offered special banking assistance to many nonprofit organizations. I'm Kathy Morgan with First National Bank, and we have a checking account just for nonprofits and faith-based organizations that has no minimum balance requirement and no monthly maintenance fee. We also specialize in offering financing when your group needs a loan. So come see us at First National Bank, and we'll provide your organization with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
50 years of high school sports coverage on 105.5 KD Country. Award-winning for some of it, Bob. Nick Bailey, a big part of that reason why we're award-winning. I think you were a part of some of them, but we don't want to give you too much credit.
No, why not? Yeah, I mean, I'm still in my infancy. I hope to be here another 50.
Yeah, it's
Not
a good point.
Just on Earth, but at KD Country.
Absolutely. We encourage that. Jarrell Jordan is now getting presented with a game ball for his basketball exploits here at Altavista. Of course, he was a great football player, too, Bob. We've already talked about that.
Wow, it's bad when, Mike Cardalero's smiling, but Dean Hubbard can't smile. Come on, Dean. Come on, let's work this out here.
Yep. Dean Hubbard, the athletic director here at Altavista.
Make it official tomorrow, but we'll talk to him here some point during the third quarter. I'll give up my headset.
No, I'll give up my headset.
It's only going to be brief.
We've all got to give up a spot here for Jarrell Jordan, a Division I football player now.
We won't reenact.
As of Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say we won't reenact maybe Wally Pipp and Lou Gehrig up here necessarily, but
right.
We'll give Jarrell his just due.
Well, judging from what we saw from Jarrell on the basketball court, I'm sure he could do some pretty good color commentary up here. So you're right. Maybe we better be careful about giving up our spot. Third quarter underway now. Richard Hubbard will inbound on the far sideline for Altavista.
Fun Fridays, Kyle.
That's the name of the game on Fridays, especially when it's cold outside. You got to do something to stay warm up here. Might as well have a little fun. I don't know how much fun it was in the locker room for the Colonels. They only lead by 4, but it is a 4-point lead nonetheless. Inside to Darius Johnson. Johnson goes up. Shot won't go in. It got partially blocked. Statesmen have got the rebound. Now Dante Eubanks will bring it up for Randolph Henry. He drives, gets it in the corner to Pugh, and Pugh's three-pointer is good. Brandon Pugh on the made basket. Now it's a one-point game just like that, 25-24, Mr. Alvis.
Getting a little serious here. Randolph Henry, you talked about Altavista probably wasn't happy at half. Well, I'd hate to hear what the Randolph Henry speech was because they were actually trailing.
That's true. Darius Johnson got it, goes up for 2. Count the bucket. Great pass and a save by Juan Thornhill, really just to keep it in bounds, but also to find Darius Johnson. Hits him in stride. Johnson finishes the basket. 27-24 lead now. Statesman, they'll put up a running layup. That was Devin Pugh. The runner would not go in. It was rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. He just hands it over to Michi Malback. Now Malback ahead to Thornhill. They get it inside to Johnson. Johnson goes up, gets it to go for 2. Thought about the dunk. Decided on the layup instead. But now it's a 29-24 lead. So the Colonels have stretched it back out a little bit. They're up 5 in this one now. 6:35 remaining. Eubanks driving to the bucket. Shot won't go, but he's fouled in the act. He'll head to the free throw line and shoot a pair, Mr. Alvis. First foul of the half for anybody.
I think it went against Michi there as the personal. His first, like you mentioned, Kyle, first one of the half. Jarrell, player of the year in the Dogwood, right? For basketball that one year?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember if that was his junior year or his senior year.
The thing I can't remember is was it shared? Because I know there were a few years where there were co's, and I cannot remember if Jarrell was part of the sharing one year.
Free throw no good from Eubanks. Ball came down to Randolph Henry. They had it momentarily. Then they lost it. Thornhill's got it now. Eubanks missed both of them.
That could be a no-no for this game. Points are at a premium right now.
Indeed. Got to knock them down from the free throw line when you get there. Altavista wasn't bad at that in the first half. And they haven't been all bad from the free throw line this year. Thornhill took an extra step. Probably could have got him for an offensive foul, too, as he sort of lowered the shoulder to give himself a little more room. They just call it travel. Turnover nonetheless. Randolph Henry takes the basketball back. Just over 6 to play. Statesmen trail by 5. Eubanks fakes a drive. Keeps it out on the perimeter. Now he hands it off on the right wing to Pugh. Eubanks got it back. And Reed will get fouled trying to get some space for himself for a pass.
It's against Juan.
First on Juan Thornhill, second on the team this half.
Colonels, by the way, not in zone tonight.
No, Colonels are in a man-to-man all night. Rebounded by Thornhill. Lobs it ahead to Darius Johnson. Johnson goes up. He's fouled in the act.
That's
You're going to call it an intentional foul. We saw this against Chatham the other night. Didn't look like there was a whole lot to the foul. But the referee did call it an intentional foul, so Darius is going to get a chance to shoot by himself, and the Colonels will get the ball back, Bob.
Do you know why I think that wasn't intentional? It looked like he almost tried to grab Darius around it. Not go for the ball, as much as just grab at him, which I think is probably what got the intentional called as his third.
You're probably right about that. Darius makes the first one, misses the second one. First one bounced around on the rim and circled around, stayed up there for a long time, then finally went in. Second one would not go in, and it is a 30-24 lead. Now, clock's still running, which it shouldn't be. I just noticed that, Bob.
Was that Dixon's third or Reed's third?
The clock is running right now. It shouldn't be. Clock should be stopped. It's 5 minutes. Nobody notices but me. How about that, Bob Alice? Normally, I'm the last one to notice things. They get it in bounds with 4:55 left, but about 15 seconds ran off that shouldn't have. Three-pointer by Richard Hubbard, no good. Hubbard almost committed a foul trying to get the ball back. Demetrius Johnson instead will get whistled for the foul.
Kyle, I'm proud of you.
Clock is stopped now. You didn't think I was...
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I know you are. You didn't think I was paying attention, but I was.
All those bad words I've ever said about you, half of them.
And, Coach Kevin Bowman for Randolph Henry is really the one that it mattered to because his team's down. I guess that you could say it's unfortunate he didn't see it. Obviously, just a mistake there by the scoreboard people. Three-pointer no good by Eubank. Rebound comes down to Darius Johnson. Thornhill will get it ahead to Richard Hubbard. The pass almost hit another Colonel, but Hubbard received it well and then gave it right back to Juan Thornhill. 2-3 zone again for Randolph Henry. Poindexter looking inside on the left wing. Now he goes to the baseline to Johnson.
I think at some point later in the game you might have to scrap this and go man because it's not speeding the Colonels up either.
Right. Darius Johnson got it inside, count the bucket, and he got fouled. Great pass from Richard Hubbard and a great finish from Darius Johnson to get 2 more points, Bobby.
This has gotten a little bit out of control for Randolph Henry now. They hit that opening three, haven't scored since. Colonels have reeled off the last 7.
Yeah, and that's 3 fouls on Reed. Reed was another one of the guys that did a lot of scoring for them, so not good for him to have 3 fouls. Free throw good by Darius Johnson.
So I think Reed has 3, and Dixon has 3?
I think you're right. Yep. 3-point play for Darius Johnson. 3-pointer on the way from the Statesman's no good. Rebounded by Darius Johnson. Tosses it to Juan Thornhill. Thornhill looking to run the fast break. Now he'll slow it down and bring it back out. Gets it to Hubbard. Hubbard standing right in front of Altavista's bench on the left wing there. He'll give it back to Juan Thornhill. Coach Cardellaro telling his guys don't be in any rush. And why would you be? 33-24 lead for the Colonels. They get it inside to Darius Johnson. Shot's no good. Rebound bounces along to Eric Poindexter. Hubbard, 3-pointer from dead on. No good. Rebound still loose. Thornhill had his hands on it. Now McClure's got it. McClure tied up inside. Just lost the basketball.
McClure got poked in the eye, too.
Yeah, that's not good.
Angela Emerson right down there along with Dean Hubbard.
Yeah, and they're actually going to call McClure for the foul after he lost the basketball. No kidding.
His third.
That really probably is the definition of adding insult to injury.
Mike Cardellaro going to come out?
Yep.
Let me give a shout out to the other 4 people I know from Randolph Henry. I mentioned Joe Freeland earlier.
Yes.
Billy Catron.
Absolutely.
Former head baseball coach.
Multiple state champion.
Sam Catron, his son, who also was a very good baseball player for the Statesmen. And then, believe it or not, I actually work with 2 people who are alums of Randolph Henry.
Okay.
Ashton Smith and Caitlin Candler. So there you go. There's my 5 Randolph Henry. And I'll tell you, Randolph Henry probably involved in one of the most dramatic high school sporting events I've ever seen. State championship against Chatham.
In baseball. Yes, right.
Down to their last strike.
Yeah, there was a while there where Randolph Henry seemed like they were in the state championship game in baseball all the time. I know they won 2 and at least went to one other one that they lost. And that was one of them over Chatham there in, I guess, what was that, 04 or 05, Bob? Something like
Farrell? That. I always get this mixed up of who hit that grand slam. There's some red on the floor, by the way. Angela Emerson's going to do her best to, she's going to do better than her best. She's going to get all that mopped up before we resume. Was it Farrell? Do you remember?
You got me on that one, Bob.
Justin
You always
Farrell, but I'm not
put me on the
positive.
spot here with these questions about the past. You know, my memory's as foggy as yours.
Unfortunately, there's no ESPN Sports Almanac for the high school that we can go to.
No.
The VHSL record book doesn't note the hitter
Yeah.
that was at the play at the time.
Yeah.
But what a great game that was up until then. Chatham was loaded. Randolph Henry had a really good team, too.
Yes.
One of the better games you'll find.
And they had already met in the regional championship game, obviously, Region B.
Right, I was going to say the Region B championship game has replayed itself in many state title games in many sports.
Very, very good point there by Bob Alvis. We'll talk about all of them later. Randolph Henry wants to score. Darius Johnson with a nice block, but they say somebody got a piece of Brandon Pugh as he was going up for the shot. I don't think it was Darius. I think it was somebody else. We'll see when they post a number on the board. Yep, it was Juan Thornhill, got him with the body.
And we actually did one of those games, Kyle, because Altavista's state title in the boys realm in, what was it, 03 or whatnot? That was Riverheads that they beat. So that was a rematch.
Yeah, right, in basketball, yes.
Yep.
Yes, you got to specify here
Sorry,
because
did
we
I-
were talking
I thought I
about
said
baseball, and then we're
basketball.
talking about basketball. Second free throw goes in for Brandon Pugh. I don't think he did. Juan Thornhill going up for a layup there, virtually uncontested. Great play by Juan. Stretches this out to a 10-point lead for Altavista. Under 3 minutes in the third quarter. Jump shot by Eubank, no good. Rebounds loose. Pulled in by number 34. That's C.J. Reed for the Statesman. Nice rebound on the putback by him to make it an 8-point lead for Altavista. Foul away from the basketball here as Reed and Darius Johnson doing some battle. And they're going to call it against Reed. He and Darius were just posted up on that low block, and they said Reed probably used the arms a little bit too much. Altavista to inbound under their own basket. 35-27, they lead. Hubbard looking for somebody to get it into, finally gets it into Thornhill.
And, you know, the other state title we did with Altavista trying to get one on the basketball floor against Madison County. Again, a rematch of Region B.
Right. That was a very good game. Ended up being like a 2 or 3 point loss for Altavista. Colonels have got the basketball back after losing it momentarily. They almost lost it again, but Thornhill's fouled by Eubank.
And this was after Madison had just laid the wood to him in the regional finals.
Right. Second one on Eubanks.
That was a good team, too, by Madison County. They were huge.
Very good team.
They were some big boys.
Yep. Believe they beat Dan River either the year before or the year after in a state tournament game, semifinals, something like that. 35-27. Altavista leads here. Just over 2 minutes to play in the third quarter.
I feel like we've hit every house on memory lane.
I think so. It's probably time to get back into the present. Although that's tough for us sometimes, too. 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Brought to you by Apple Markets of Altavista. Check out the weekly specials during the game tonight. Poindexter tried to get it to Thornhill, but he lost it. Eubanks got the steal. Now he's bringing it up for the Statesman. He'll slow it down.
That zone either got much more aggressive or they scrapped it right on that possession.
Yeah, Randolph Henry's really picked up the defense. So have the Colonels. Steal by Darius Johnson. Just picked off an errant pass right there. Right place, right time for Darius Johnson.
I think Eubanks thought his man was going to cut more to the basket. Cutting, he did not, and Altavista comes away with it.
Yep. Poindexter, middle of the court. Now Hubbard, left wing. They get it inside, low block to Darius Johnson. Puts up the fadeaway, won't go in, but he got his own rebound. He missed that one. He got it back again. This time he's fouled going up a third time. So Johnson doesn't like the fact that he wasn't able to finish it, but he padded the rebounding stats.
But no way should he have out-rebounded 4 blue jerseys right there, because these are not little guys in the paint for Randolph Henry.
Yeah.
Darius, outstanding job on the boards.
Great job by Darius Johnson. You're right. He just soared above 4 Statesman defenders.
That's number 4 on Joe Reed, by the way.
And that's not good news. Joseph Reed is one of those forces inside for Randolph Henry. First free throw up and in for Darius Johnson. Johnson's probably not too worried about the rebounding stats. The rebounds aren't what matter on the scoreboard. The points are.
But the rebounds sometimes lead to points. And I'll tell you what, Mike
Absolutely.
Cardinero likes them.
Well, I love him. I think Darius likes him, too. I think he was just unsatisfied that he couldn't finish one of those putbacks that he had. Officials talking to a couple players out there just a little bit. Second one on the way from Darius Johnson is good. So it's a 37-27, 10-point lead again for Altavista. 1:16 remaining in the third quarter.
And give Randolph Henry credit, Kyle. They could have kind of folded up tent in this one earlier on, because no matter, even if it's not a packed house, I think a lot of people just get intimidated by the mystique of Altavista that don't see him all the time. But Randolph Henry is not caved.
That's right. Statesmen have done a nice job to stay in this one. Eubanks has got it. Now he'll get it cross court to Devontae Dixon. Dixon stops, shoots a jump shot, won't go in. Nice rebound from Demetrius Johnson. Malbec going ahead full throttle. Now he kicks it out to Poindexter. Poindexter crossover dribble. Lost it though. Eubanks on the steal. Eubanks going for the layup. Gives it up to Dixon. That won't go in. Rebounded by, that was Dixon on the rebound. Pugh missed the layup. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Statesmen. 40 seconds left in the third quarter.
Just good defense out there by Randolph Henry to force that turnover. I mean, Eric Poindexter is trying to look like bring it back out up top and, maybe run something.
Going to get a foul here. Looked like an illegal screen by Eubanks. That's his fourth.
Eubanks is being watched now, too, because he's kind of been talking a little bit here and there.
Yeah, they say it's actually just his third. I thought he already had 3, but okay, he's got 3 now. And you're right, the officials are keeping a close eye on these two teams. It's gotten a little physical at times, not rough or anything. Down to 35 seconds now. Statesman in that 2-3 zone again, so Juan Thornhill is just going to hold it just in front of half court. He's actually dribbling it.
Colonels are shooting on the next free throw the rest of the way. Randolph Henry 1 away from being bonus eligible. Oh, they're coming after Juan now.
Yep, they tried to double team Thornhill very quickly. Malbach's going to do the same thing along that right sideline, though, just holding it. Now Altavista's got to go. We're down to 7 seconds. Hubbard puts up a three-pointer. No good. Rebounds loose. Hubbard almost got it back. Eubanks has got it now for Randolph Henry. Down to 1 second. Gets the layup up and in, but they're going to say it doesn't count because C.J. Reed grabbed the basket there. Really, I guess just not without thinking. The ball was still up in the cylinder. Reed was anticipating a rebound, just grabbed onto the rim. That'll wipe off the basket,
like
Bob.
Blocking the back 20 yards away from the play.
Exactly. The layup would have gone in, but it doesn't count when we go to the fourth quarter now. 37-27. Altavista's got a lead after 3 on 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista, outdoor pool, and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Piece of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels have built up a 10-point lead here in this home game, Bob Alvis.
I'll tell you what, Kyle, I'm not really up to date on my Division II basketball yet in single A, but I think Randolph Henry might be a team that's never going to be an easy out when they come into your building or you go into theirs.
Yeah, never an easy trip when you go to Charlotte Courthouse, but you're right. Statesmen have been tough on the road here in this one tonight, as expected. Colonels have built up a 10-point lead. Couple extra steps there from Dixon. He gets the basketball off. Now it's rebounded right there by Malik Westry. Westry will try a three-pointer. No good. This rebound's loose, tapped away to Demetrius Johnson. Here comes Thornhill very quickly. Goes to the basket, trying for the layup. Took some contact. Shot won't go in, but he came down awkwardly after the foul.
That's not good news.
No, he's still laying on the ground right now.
Foul went against 15. Devin Pugh, I think. That'll be his 7th.
Yeah. It'd be the team's 7th, not Pugh's 7th.
If so, that'd be a record in the word.
Yes. 2 fouls personally for Devin Pugh. And let's step aside for a 30-second timeout here while we've got some time because of the injury. Colonels leading 37-27. 7.5 minutes to go here in the ball game on 105.5 KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
37-27. Thornhill's up on his feet now. Nice applause from the audience. And now Altavista will get somebody in to take his place, and I would assume to shoot the free throws as well, Bob. We actually saw this Tuesday night at Chatham where Kadarius Farrell got hurt for the Cavs, and they had to have somebody shoot the free throws for him. Good thing as a coach is you get to pick who shoots them.
Yeah, it doesn't happen every day. Everyone can do that, but, you know, where somebody comes out and somebody else comes back in. It doesn't happen every day, but it's happened here.
Yeah, it's happened a few times, and it looks like Darius Johnson is going to be the one that shoots him.
Which is rare, and I don't mean this as a knock on Darius at all, but you look at, Juan, your typical free throw shooter. Darius, your typical post player. Normally they don't sub in to shoot the free throws.
Yeah, but a lot of those post players can shoot a little bit.
Yeah, Shaq was not an example of that, but,
He certainly was not. Jacob McClure, as Juan was getting hurt there, McClure was just now coming back from the back there getting attended to, and I believe he's actually changed jerseys as well.
Darius had 8 in the third quarter, by the way, Kyle, and Altavista outscored Randolph Henry 12-6 in that third quarter. A 3 by Brandon Pugh got everything kicked off, and then C.J. Reed gets a 2, and Brandon Pugh chipped in a free throw, and that was it.
Yeah, interesting scoring-wise for Randolph Henry. Again, I think it speaks to the good defense from Altavista. First one was no good by Darius Johnson. 7:29 to go in this ball game, in regulation anyway.
I like that. Second, I hope it goes to overtime.
Right. Second one on the way from Darius is also no good.
Far from over.
Rebounded by Devontae Dixon. Eubanks, spin move in the lane, throws up the basket. Count that. And he's fouled in the act of shooting as well. Nice spin move there from Eubanks. He'll go to the free throw line for a third one. And the foul is number 2 on Richard Hubbard. So both teams are in the bonus now.
Well, what I like about this, Kyle, is Juan Thornhill's not going to play every minute. And if he's going to get hurt or, he's going to get sick one night, you got to learn how to play without him. Why not do it here?
Yep. Colonels are going to have to do it for a little while anyway. Thornhill on the bench, sideline with an injury right now. Altavista's got the ball. Darius Johnson tied up. They'll call this a jump ball. Eubank made the free throw, so it makes it a 7-point game, 37-30.
I like Kevin Bowman, too. Never once has he really sat down tonight. Never once has he been, screaming anything other than encouragement. I mean, really positive guy out there coaching. And for Randolph Henry, who hasn't had, tons and tons of success, I think that's almost kind of the guy you need.
Yep. Walker driving to the basket, stopped at the free throw line. Now he gets to Hubbard, then inside to Darius Johnson. Not in, but Walker got the rebound. His won't go. Johnson got that rebound. Darius puts it up, count the bucket, and he's fouled. Great teamwork and perseverance down low, Bob, because the first one was missed by Johnson. Josh Walker got that back, stuck it up. It wouldn't go in. Darius Johnson got that rebound. Then he goes up and gets it to go.
Randolph Henry felt they had tied that up. And it's really hard to tell when it gets down there so low of what's happening. Third foul against the Statesman's player on that one. 8 as a team.
Johnson's free throw just a little bit short.
Darius 0 for 3 in this quarter. He was, I think, maybe 4 for 4 before that.
Three-pointer on the way from the Statesman. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Josh Walker. Great job by Walker to get position and then pull in the board. 9-point lead for Altavista. Hubbard and Malback standing along the perimeter here.
I don't think the Colonels need to hold here, Kyle, but I think they can be selective.
Well, you might as well if Randolph Henry's not going to come out of the zone. Statesman defenders have their heels right on the three-point line. Now they go out and try and double-team Malback. Get it inside to Johnson, and Johnson's fouled on the floor. He'll go to the line for a 1-and-1.
It's almost like Coach Bowman when he sees a certain guy get the ball for Altavista. It's like the mailman's come, and he's yelling at the two dogs, go get that mailman. Right. I mean, they are just jumping that guard. It's been Thornhill, it's been Malback. It's the 4th foul, I think, on Dixon.
Yep.
And 9 on Randolph Henry as a team, and Altavista's shooting 2 really essentially the rest of the way.
Yep. First one up and good for Darius Johnson. So he broke out of a little free throw funk there. I like that. Most of the things you say I don't like, no offense, but I like that. It's like the mailman and the guy just lets the junkyard dogs off the leash there. Second one no good for Darius. It's still a 10-point lead, though, for the Colonels.
I mean, it's not like they're inching up. I mean, they're getting after him quick. Eubanks for 2, and he's got one more at the stripe.
Wow, great job by Eubanks. Lately, that's been Randolph Henry's offense as Eubanks driving, getting it up in the basket, and he's fouled here again. Third one on Richard Hubbard. Yeah, it's those two guards for Randolph Henry. They sort of wait there at the three-point line. And then when Coach Bowman gives the signal, they just go get the ball handler.
I don't know what Eubanks wants to do for his profession, but he definitely got into real estate right there because that ball hit about 20 different sides of the rim.
Yeah, great shooter's touch there with the high arc, gets it to bounce. Walker is double-teamed, and Coach Cardellaro is going to call a timeout to save the possession. Walker really had nowhere to go. Tough defense from Randolph Henry. We'll take a 30-second timeout as well. Colonels lead by 7, just under 6 minutes to play here on 105.5 KD Country.
Even though it's been said many times in many ways, the staff, management, and employees of English's Building Supply and Hardware in Altavista take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you a happy holiday. May this Christmas be merrier than any Christmas you've ever known before. It's the same old wish, but always new. A Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. From English's Hardware and Building Supply on Main Street, Altavista, closed the week of December 24th through December 30th.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
5:54 remains to be exact. Altavista up 40-33. Hubbard has to throw it a little deeper into the backcourt to inbound it to Eric Poindexter, but the Colonels get it in. And now here's Randolph Henry in the 2-3 zone again. Possibly waiting for that double-team signal by Coach Bowman on the bench. Walker has it in the right-hand corner. Now to Malback. Malback free throw line. He'll kick it out near half court to Poindexter.
Well, and very seldom when I say throw it in the corner now. But you've got to wonder, does that trap come out onto the corner of the more of the baseline?
Right. Yeah, and you can hear Coach Eubank barking out a signal from the sideline. There's Johnson, Darius Johnson exactly. And he is fouled in the act of shooting. Shot did not go in.
So on 15.
Johnson just sort of floated the ball up to the front of the rim. Wouldn't go in.
4 on Devin Pugh.
Yep. That's 4 on Pugh. Free throw good by Darius Johnson. Boy, it seems like Darius Johnson's been at that free throw line this half a whole lot, Bob.
Well, it's definitely a season high, I'll tell you that, because beforehand I think the most Darius had been there was like 4.
He may have to look into some sort of a lease there at the foul line or something.
Shot 4 the other night against the Cavs.
He shot 4 in the third quarter, and he shot at least that here in the fourth quarter. Second one was no good, but it was rebounded by Josh Walker. Nice offensive rebound, and Altavista's got a fresh possession now. Looks like Randolph Henry's just going to a straight man-to-man. Malback's got some room over there on the right sideline. Nobody coming out past the three-point line to guard him.
Tell you, I'm glad I'm not doing play-by-play tonight because I want to call Dante Eubanks Kevin Eubanks, and he's leading the band for Randolph Henry, that's for sure.
Yeah. He is a good point guard for Randolph Henry, no doubt about that.
Hadn't scored a ton, but, I mean, even defensively, it's like he's a point guard, you know? I mean, because he's instructing the guys defensively, almost at linebacker mentality.
Yep. It's an interesting thing to watch, but he is definitely the leader for Randolph Henry. Poindexter driving. Fouled. They say this is on the floor before he got to the basket. Not going to matter, though. It's 2 shots anyway because Altavista's in the double bonus. So, you know, essentially it's the same thing. Poindexter will shoot 2. That's 5 on Devontae Dixon. And I think Pugh has 4, and I think Reed maybe has 4 as well, Bob, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I know it. I know one of the Pughs has 4, maybe 2 of the Pughs have 4, but I think Joe Reed might have 4 in Devin Pugh.
Yeah, the foul situation is not great right now for Randolph Henry. Poindexter's going to shoot 2.
You know, you mentioned that it wouldn't have mattered when they waved it off. The only way it would have mattered had been the shot went in.
If it had gone in, right.
You know, but otherwise, like you said, no point and no difference at all.
Yep. First one on the way from Eric. No good. That guys go after the rebound. I was going to say, I think it's 2.
Well, Greg Howard, he's in the know because he was like, hey, guys, come on now. We got 2.
Yep.
Tell you what, Altavista has controlled this game again with the old jab.
Yeah, they've been able to keep Randolph Henry at a distance. The Statesmen were pretty close in the second quarter, and Randolph Henry did have a lead in the first quarter, but since then it's really been all Colonels. Poindexter sinks the second one, 1 of 2 for Eric. On the court right now, you got Michi Malbeck, Richard Hubbard, Eric Poindexter, and both Johnson brothers, Demetrius and Darius. Statesmen have it sort of trapped on the baseline. Now they get rid of it. That's Terrence Royster.
Oh.
Royster's blocked right there, and here comes Darius Johnson the other way quickly. Thinking about a dunk, he gets fouled. Shot didn't go in. No intentional foul, though.
No intentional foul, but it was intentional in the fact of Eubanks wasn't going to let him get 2.
Yep. Darius did not get 2. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot 2, however. That's
Eubanks
4 now on Eubanks. Yeah,
wow.
It's almost like every starter either has 4 or 5 fouls.
How many fouls you got? I got at least 1.
I picked up 1 when I gave you that elbow earlier when the lights were out.
Kenny Hunt's a Floyd Mayweather fan, so that means he don't like contact. No fouls on his part.
He hadn't been hit all night. Second one good for Darius Johnson. 1 of 2 for him is made. And again, Darius has spent a lot of time at the free throw line tonight. 4:06 remains in this one. 10-point lead for the Colonels, 43-33. But with the feel of this game tonight, I think we can safely say it's far from over.
But, Randolph Henry has not really been active a lot from 3. I mean, Pugh has, but other than that, not a lot of triples have gone up from the Statesmen.
Yeah, but they've had a couple three-point plays the old-fashioned way with Eubanks driving and getting fouled, so you never know. Royster has the basketball now. He hands it to Eubanks. Eubanks using the baseline to drive. Stepped on the baseline, out of bounds. It'll go as a turnover. Hubbard got bonked in the head with the basketball. Altavista's going to get possession, though.
I like watching Eubanks. I mean, this kid wears his emotions on his sleeve. I mean, it's not a, I think he's having fun, but it's agonizing at the same time because, he makes a mistake. And it's like, gosh, why'd that happen?
Right. Malbeck tripped up as he was driving to the basket. His foul may be on number 52, Tevin Smith.
And Smith really picks up a cheapie right there. I mean, wrong place, wrong time, trying to get out of the way, and knocks into Michi. And this will be Michi's, I think, first time, maybe one of his first appearances tonight at the line.
Well, it seems like Darius is the only one that's been to the free throw line. First one up and good for Michi Malbeck. I think he's been there one other time, but I could be wrong.
Do you have to pay Darius rent when you go to the line?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like Monopoly. You landed on my property.
You're right, he did. Michi 0 for 1 in the second quarter.
I knew I was right. 45-33 now as Malbeck knocks down both of them. 12-point lead. Now Altavista is starting to put their foot down a little bit, and it's getting progressively tougher for Randolph Henry here. Altavista hadn't let up at all on defense, that's for sure.
Not at all impossible yet for the Statesmen, but like I said, that 3 ball I think is going to have to come out of their out of the hat at some point.
Yep, Pugh's in trouble here. He's got a pass, so you're going to get a 5-second call. Coach Bowman realized that, so he called the timeout instead. We'll take it with him. 30-second timeout here. Altavista, they're up 12 with 3 minutes to play on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Back here from Altavista High School, Bob Alvis, Kyle Haney.
Is this where you're going to try out play-by-play for a few minutes?
I was just I'm working on the bringing it. You got to work on every facet of the game. I got to work on the bringing it back too.
Lord knows we need to work on every facet of the game.
One point Altavista doesn't really have to do a lot on in this game is defense, Kyle. If you notice right there, they forced the Randolph Henry ball handler so far back that Eubanks had to circle around and come into backcourt. So if you throw it to Eubanks, it's a backcourt violation anyway. So it's just good defense by the Colonels in terms of where they forced Randolph Henry to pick up the ball and then get him in trouble.
Yeah, Devin Pugh was trapped between Demetrius Johnson and backcourt. And you're right, it made it very tough. You're going to get an illegal screen now by Randolph Henry. This will go down as another turnover. Altavista will get the basketball. Don't think they'll shoot. No shooting because it's a player control foul, as they say.
Going to disqualify Mr. Reed. Joseph.
Yep. Joseph Reed has got 5 fouls now. Second player to foul out for Randolph Henry. C.J. Reed will check in. They sort of look alike. They may be brothers, but we won't speculate.
I'll tell you what, Kyle, backcourt line, it gets older every year, but still maintains its defensive position on the floor.
Oh, man, that's 2 of them tonight that you've said that have been pretty good.
Are you counting?
You're right.
Dexter with the basketball.
That backcourt line keeps getting older, but it's still a great defender. You're right. Demetrius Johnson has it just beyond the free throw line. Now he cycles it out. Poindexter's got it, passing it back and forth with Hubbard into Johnson. Colonel's really just playing keep away right now. Darius at the free throw line. He's got it back again. Excuse me, that's Demetrius. Gets Maul back cutting the basket. No good, but Demetrius. Now Darius has the rebound. Basket goes in.
Specs fall off.
Yep. He converted it. He doesn't mind. He'll just pick him up and roll on.
Foul.
And he'll go to the free throw line again.
I didn't know if they were going to call it on Demetrius, actually, because Demetrius is the one that bumped into Darius from the backside. But Darius will be right back at a home away from home.
Yep. Darius going to shoot another one from the free throw line. That's 5 on Devin Pugh. So now that's 3 starters that have fouled out for Randolph Henry.
Now it's getting to the point to where the Statesmen have enough people to finish. I think they do. That was said in jest. But, I mean, it's, they're losing guys left and right.
Yep. No good. Demetrius Johnson got the rebound for his brother, though.
And everybody kind of stopped on that one. I don't know why.
Yeah, really, maybe, I don't know if Randolph Henry thought there was 2 shots on that one or what, but you're right. They look like they kind of quit playing a little bit there. Malbeck has it now. Crossover dribble. About 40 or 50 feet away from the basket. He's just taking his time here.
Minute 50, Kyle Altavista, not in a big hurry.
He's not 50 feet away from the basket, but he was 40 feet away from the basket. Poindexter has it in the left-hand corner. Baseline, going up for the layup. Won't go in. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson. And instead of going back up with it, he just collects the rebound and kicks it back out.
Which is against conventional logic, because you would tell your big man take it right back up, but Demetrius knows what to do in this system and does not take it right back up. Instead, takes it right back out.
Well, and he knows Altavista's got the lead. And I think if he'd have went up with it, Coach Cardellera would have been perfectly happy with that, too. So.
Well, and he, 6 minutes left in the quarter, he goes back up with it. Minute 24. Nothing wrong with pushing it out.
Right. Colonel's just playing a glorified game of keep away right now. Darius has it, acting like a point guard.
104. I mean, shades of the Gretna game where Gretna didn't foul late and Altavista just ran the clock.
Yeah, and that's basically what Altavista's doing right now. Randolph Henry not fouling. The Statesmen are down 14, so I think Coach Bowman is content to just sort of ride this one out and head into Christmas break.
I stick by my earlier statement, though. Randolph Henry is going to be a tough team to beat. I'll tell you, Kenny Hunt putting this one over. He's closed up the notebook.
He has closed up the notebook.
Is this the version of Don Meredith on Monday Night Football?
Turn out the lights.
When the notebook closes, the party's over?
Yep. Hubbard has it. Couple dribbles.
Now the mic's going away, too, so we're...
Darius Johnson will finally get fouled now. I don't know that it was intentional, but it's going to send Darius back to the free throw line again. Now maybe the only question is, can Darius shoot the same amount of free throws Kenny Hunt Jr. shot in that one game? Who was that game against, Bob?
Washington and Lee.
Washington and Lee.
Montrose?
Yeah, Kenny shot 30-some free throws or something like that. Wasn't he like 25?
Started. I mean, Kenny was at the line. I think Kenny had he had 50 that night total in the game.
Yeah.
I want to say he had 30 from the stripe.
I think he had 25 or 26 from the free throw line. Second one was good by Darius Johnson. He made 1 of 2. Three-pointer no good, and then it's stuck back by Josh Johnson for the Randolph Henry Statesmen. So they haven't completely lost the fight. We're down to 8 seconds
you want me
now.
To go back and check and send that back to you next week?
I want to wrap up this ball game here. Michi is just going to dribble around some circles, double team momentarily, passes it to Darius. There's the final buzzer. Altavista, a 48-35 winner over Randolph Henry. Subway post-game show on the way after this timeout. Colonels with a big win on 105.5 KD Country.